The Iranian languages form a branch of the Indo-Iranian languages, which in turn are a branch of the Indo-European language family. The speakers of Iranian languages are known as Iranian peoples. Historical Iranian languages are grouped in three stages: Old Iranian, Middle Iranian, and New Iranian. Of the Old Iranian languages, the better understood and recorded ones are Old Persian and Avestan. Middle Iranian languages included Middle Persian and Parthian. There are many Iranian languages, the largest amongst them are Persian, Pashto, Kurdish, and Balochi. As of 2008, there were an estimated 150–200 million native speakers of Iranian languages. The Ethnologue lists 87 Iranian languages. Persian has about 75 million native speakers, Pashto about 50 million, Kurdish about 32 million, Balochi about 25 million, and Lori about 2.3 million. Term. The term Iranian is applied to any language which descends from the ancestral Proto-Iranian language. Iranian derives from the Persian equivalent of the Sanskrit word Aryan. The use of the term for the Iranian language family was introduced in 1836 by Christian Lasson. Robert Needham Cust used the term Irano-Aryan in 1878, and Orientalists such as George Abraham Grierson and Max Marwan Courtellaire contrasted Irano-Aryan and Indo-Aryan. Some recent scholarship, primarily in German, has revived this convention. A few sources use Iranic to avoid connections with the country of Iran. Still, Iranian remains the term used by the vast majority of English-language sources. Proto-Iranian and Old Iranian languages. Together with the other Indo-Iranian languages, the Iranian languages are descended from a common ancestor, Proto-Indo-Iranian. The Indo-Iranian languages are thought to have originated in Central Asia. The Andranovo culture is the suggested candidate for the common Indo-Iranian culture circa 2000 BC. It was situated precisely in the western part of Central Asia that borders present-day Russia. It was in relative proximity to the other Satan ethno-linguistic groups of the Indo-European family, like Thracian, Balto-Slavic and others, and to common Indo-Europeans' original homeland, according to the reconstructed linguistic relationships of common Indo-European. Proto-Iranian thus dates to sometime after Proto-Indo-Iranian breakup, or the early 2nd millennium BCE, as the Old Iranian languages began to break off and evolve separately as the various Iranian tribes migrated and settled in vast areas of southeastern Europe, the Iranian Plateau, and Central Asia. Avestan, mainly attested through the Avesta, a collection of sacred texts connected to the Zoroastrian religion, is considered to belong to a central Iranian group, where only peripheral groups had developed such as southwestern and northeastern Sogdian and Sakan language. Among the less-known Old Iranian languages is Median, spoken in western and central Iran, which may have had an A-Euro-OE official A-Euro status during the Median era. Apart from place and personal names, some words reported in Herodotus' histories and some preserved forms in Achaemenid inscriptions, there are numerous non-Persian words in the Old Persian texts that are commonly considered Median. Some of the modern Western and Central Iranian dialects are also likely to be descended from Median. Other such languages are Carduchi and Parthian. Innovations of Proto-Iranian compared to Proto-Indo-Iranian, from Witzel, 2001. S other than, E florin turns into, H, B degree, to degree, G degree merge into B, D, G, fricativization. Stops become fricatives whenever they lie in front of another consonant, the merged B, D, G become, I squared, a degree, I cubed, P, T, K become F, I, X, in all positions, pay degree, T degree, K degree become F, I, X. Middle Iranian languages. What is known in Iranian linguistic history as the Middle Iranian era is thought to begin around the 4th century BCE lasting through the 9th century. Linguistically, the Middle Iranian languages are conventionally classified into two main groups, Western and Eastern. The Western family includes Parthian and Middle Persian, while Bactrian, Sogdian, Khwarezmian, Saka, and Old Ascetic fall under the Eastern category. The two languages of the Western group were linguistically very close to each other, but quite distinct from their Eastern counterparts. On the other hand, The Eastern group was an aerial entity whose languages retained some similarity to Avestan. They were inscribed in various Aramaic-derived alphabets which had ultimately evolved from the Achaemenid Imperial Aramaic script, though Bactrian was written using an adapted Greek script. Middle Persian was the official language under the Sasanian dynasty in Iran. It was in use from the 3rd century CE until the beginning of the 10th century. The script used for Middle Persian in this era underwent significant maturity. Middle Persian, Parthian and Sogdian were also used as literary languages by the Manichaeans, whose texts also survive in various non-Iranian languages, from Latin to Chinese. Manichaean texts were written in a script closely akin to the Syriac script. New Iranian languages. Following the Islamic conquest of Persia, there were important changes in the role of the different dialects within the Persian Empire. The old prestige form of Middle Iranian, also known as Pahlavi, was replaced by a new standard dialect called Dari as the official language of the court. The name Dari comes from the word Darbasent which refers to the royal court, where many of the poets, protagonists, and patrons of the literature flourished. The Safarid dynasty in particular was the first in a line of many dynasties to officially adopt the new language in 875 CE. Dari may have been heavily influenced by regional dialects of eastern Iran, whereas the earlier Pahlavi standard was based more on Western dialects. This new prestige dialect became the basis of standard New Persian. Medieval Iranian scholars such as Abdullah ibn al-Makiyah and ibn al-Nadim associated the term Dari with the eastern province of Khorasan, while they used the term Pahlavi to describe the dialects of the northwestern areas between Isfahan and Azerbaijan, and Pars and Arsacid to describe the dialects of Fars. They also noted that the unofficial language of the royalty itself was yet another dialect, Khuzai, associated with the western province of Khuzestan. The Islamic conquest also brought with it the adoption of Arabic script for writing Persian, Pashto and Balochi. All three were adapted to the writing by the addition of a few letters. This development probably occurred sometime during the second half of the 8th century, when the Old Middle Persian script began dwindling in usage. The Arabic script remains in use in contemporary modern Persian. Tajik script was first Latinized in the 1920s under the then Soviet nationality policy. The script was however subsequently Cyrillicized in the 1930s by the Soviet government. The geographical regions in which Iranian languages were spoken were pushed back in several areas by newly neighboring languages. Arabic spread into some parts of western Iran, and Turkic languages spread through much of Central Asia, displacing various Iranian languages such as Sogdian and Bactrian in parts of what is today Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan and Tajikistan. Sogdian barely survives in a small area of the Zarathustra Valley east of Samarkand, and Saka in parts of southern Xinjiang as well as Ascetic in the Caucasus. Various small Iranian languages in the Pamirs survived that are derived from Eastern Iranian. Comparison table, see also, Indo-Iranian languages, Iranian peoples, notes. References. External links, Society for Iranian Linguistics, Kurdish and Other Iranic Languages, Iranian EFL Journal, audio and video recordings for over 50 languages spoken in Iran, Iranian language tree in Russian, identical with above classification.